Captain Black here, also known as the Hood Conservative. Let's discuss trusting the police. Dramatic pause. Not only have many American blacks, but increasingly white libertarians and conservatives evidenced a hostility, and some would even say hatred toward law enforcement. My position is very clear. The police aren't perfect, nor is the public who mandates and staffs them. Our imperfections aside, if you look at the inner city and its gross lack of safety, no less than the unity, a coalition between stakeholders and the police is going to make the inner city safer. I realize that some of my white conservative and libertarian peers join nominally liberal black critics in noting the growth of a paramilitary orientation and equipping of American police, the fact that the Bush-Obama national security state has essentially rendered all Americans, regardless of your color or your convictions, de facto inmates in their nation, are matters that should concern us all. But even as boisterous a critic on the right of police misconduct as Alex Jones will always note those officers whom he supports. Again, in the inner city, short of law-abiding black people perhaps stepping outside the law and hunting down or chasing away the tormentors in our midst, the only other option is a working, cooperative relationship with law enforcement. We can't escape the fact that a criminal centrism has seized the mainstream of contemporary black culture. By saying this, I am not trying to be a willing sock puppet of white supremacists and all the others who were blamed when this topic is raised. Because at day's end, a greater unity between police and black stakeholders in the inner city will save, disproportionately, more black lives than anyone else. And FYI, a safer inner city with lesser predators, fewer predators, means that other communities will be less at risk. So it's a win-win for all involved. I have filed complaints against police officers, but I've also filed commendations on behalf of police officers. I think that the civil rights movement for the 21st century is security, and incumbent within that movement is a role for those police who can look at American blacks as citizens, not suspects, not subjects, not objects. That is always the perpetual challenge of black motion through our country. Now, I was asked once on a local radio show whether I trusted the criminal justice system. And I quoted the Russians who were quoted by the late President Ronald Reagan: trust but verify. Unlike a lot of brothers, I don't think that most white police officers, or black ones, are lurking around looking for low income or high income black men to beat up or trump up charges upon. Given the criminal centrism that I referenced earlier, policemen don't have to make up a whole lot of charges because you have people in plain view breaking a baker's dozen of laws on a regular basis in zip codes like the one where I grew up. So if we're to have truly public safety, it means that American blacks, white conservatives and libertarians, and other nominally, at least in the current climate, anti-police or police critical groups are going to have to find reasons to trust the police until proven otherwise.